Welcome to the Editing Bay. Today, we are turning raw gameplay into a professional esports montage. This is Sports Aademy, and our mission is to build the future workforce of the gaming industry. We have invested over $500,000 into our educational infrastructure to professionalize gaming careers for creators aged 16 to 25 across emerging markets. We use the try-approach methodology, combining rigorous academic excellence, practical industry experience, and world-ready skills for any creative career. Over the next 5 minutes, you are going to build a broadcast-ready esports montage from scratch. First, proper project setup, sync editing to music, building a cinematic speed ramp, and finally, mixing your audio. Mastering these step-by-step foundational workflows separates amateur social media clips from elite, career-making broadcast production. Let's get started. First, choose your software. DaVinci Resolve offers world-class artificial intelligence and color grading tools completely for free. Adobe Premiere Pro requires a paid subscription, but it remains the industry standard because of its seamless integration with After Effects. Before you import a single file, you must configure your project settings. Set your resolution to 1080p and your color space to Rec. 709. Rec. 709 is the standard color profile for web video, ensuring your colors look accurate across different monitors and platforms. Next, lock your frame rate to exactly 60 frames per second. Gaming content requires a strict 60 FPS setting to preserve the rapid, fluid motion that viewers expect. This 60 FPS baseline also gives you vital mathematical headroom. If you record and edit at 60 frames per second, you can slow your footage down to 50% speed and still maintain a smooth 30 frames per second. This prevents the choppy, stuttering artifacts that ruin amateur edits. Establishing the correct technical setup provides an invisible architecture for your project. It prevents project-destroying failures and artifacts when you start applying complex effects later on. Now, place your music track on the timeline first. Listen closely for major beats, heavy bass drops, and sharp snare hits. The music dictates your entire editing approach. Notice the sharp visual spikes on this waveform. Place M markers directly onto these transient peaks to map your rhythm. Import your 60 FPS gameplay and align the exact climax of the action directly with those beat markers. Be careful to avoid mechanical editing. Place your primary action on the beat, but allow the context of the play to breathe between those beats. Over-syncing makes your video feel entirely robotic. Let's build a 4-stage speed ramp. Start your approach at a normal 100% speed. Right before the action, drop to 20 or 50% slow motion to build anticipation. On the moment of the kill, spike the speed to 200 or 400%, and finally return to 100% for the aftermath. A sudden, hard jump between those speeds looks like a technical glitch. We need cinematic fluidity. This chart shows how to fix that using a speed curve. We transform that jagged, abrupt angle into a smooth Bezier ease curve. Bezier curves are mathematical paths that create natural acceleration and deceleration gradients between your speed changes. Manipulating time and rhythm is the primary psychological tool you use as an editor. It manufactures visceral anticipation and delivers maximum impact. Bad audio will ruin your video faster than bad visuals. Viewers will click away instantly if the sound is harsh. You need a 5-step processing chain so the caster commentary punches through the dense game audio and music. First, noise reduction removes background hum. Next, EQ cuts low frequencies and boosts vocal clarity. Then, compression balances extreme audio spikes into a tight band. A de-esser tames harsh sounds. Finally, a hard limiter at -3 decibels strictly blocks audio from peaking, preventing distortion. Finally, check your metering targets. Voice tracks must sit between -12 and -6 decibels. Your overall master output should target -14 LUFS. LUFS stands for loudness units relative to full scale, and it is the industry standard target required by streaming platforms. Pristine, perfectly balanced audio is a subconscious cue. It signals elite production value and professional competence to your audience. Look at the final result. You have fluid 60 frames per second motion, perfectly beat-synced cuts, a smooth cinematic speed ramp, and clear, balanced audio ducking beneath the commentary. You have successfully engineered a multi-layered sequence that meets current broadcast industry standards. This covers the 6 foundational pillars of our methodology: cut, motion, effects, audio, color, and export. The software is just an instrument. The only difference between an amateur and a professional is 1,000 hours of deliberate, focused practice. Close the tutorial. Open your timeline. It is time to get to work.